This is going to be the quickest and easiest Valorant economy guide to understand. We will teach you how Durka is always able to have light armor and Vandal, which allows him to always have maximum impact every round as a duelist, or what you need to buy as Killjoy on eco rounds in order to always have enough credits to purchase full utility, armor, and your preferred weapon, which is crucial for Sentinels. Before we get into any of the advanced things that we just mentioned, we first need to go over the economy cycles that you will commonly find yourself in throughout your matches. The first cycle that we will go over is the buy rounds. Buy rounds will be applied for both pistol and rounds where you need to purchase in full. First, let's go over buying in pistol round. If you are not spending all of your money during pistol round, you are trolling. The only reason you should ever not fully buy on pistol round is when you are playing either jet or chamber and you are planning to purchase an operator as early as possible. Other than this reason, you need to be spending every single credit that you have. Now, let's go over normal buy rounds, which for some reason your teammates never have enough money for. Normal buy rounds are just normal rounds where you buy in full. Your economy is fine and you are buying up everything as normal. Now, for save rounds, on the other hand, are the complete opposite compared to your buy rounds. On save rounds, the goal is to save up every single penny so that way you are able to buy in full for the next round. This does not mean buy a sheriff, marshal, or any other weapon. It means to fully save up your credits so you may buy in full for the next round. Just save your credits and coordinate a save round play with your team. You guys can decide to fully stack A site without showing your entire team is there in order to trap the enemies. Or if you know that there is a lurker, you can choose to target the isolated enemy with all of your teammates to get that isolated enemy's weapon. During these rounds, since you essentially have nothing to lose, you should also be targeting getting your ult orbs. Now, let's say your team won pistol round and you buy up. Then you also win the second round. Since your team is able to carry weapons over to the next round, this is called your bonus round. A bonus round is where you are only buying utility and keeping the weapons you had from the previous round. On bonus rounds, it's important that after your buy, you have enough credits remaining for full buy in the following round. So also take into consideration, if you already have 36 shield left, there's no point of buying full shields again because that's 1,000 credits down the drain, and the goal is to be able to buy in full for the following round. Now, let's say you guys are on a bonus round where you were able to carry weapons over into the next round, but your economy is looking really good, like we're some crypto millionaires. You may consider tossing the weapon that you previously had for a better one because you have the credits to do so. This is called upgrading. Upgrading is common when you have a Spectre, but you want to buy a Vandal because your team is rich. Notice how I said team and not just yourself. We need to make sure that all of our teammates have good economy so we aren't selfishly buying, since this will ruin our team's economy. Now, what if your game is at 3-8 or 11-12 and you are desperate for the win of the current round? Often, your team will say, let's force. To force buy or force rounds means that your team is looking to win the round at all costs, since it will put your team in a position to win the game. When you force, you need to spend every single penny on what you can get. Buy the best armor, utility, and weapon that you can get. Prioritize your armor, then weapon, then utility on these rounds. So full armor Spectre with half utility is better than light armor Stinger with full utility. This is a first person shooter game first, so we need to prioritize our gunplay first. The last round within the economy cycle is when we need to buy for the next round, meaning we buy what we can for the current round while making sure that we are able to fully buy for the next round. It's very similar to a save round, but we are going weapons that are considered to be eco weapons. These rounds are called eco rounds or half buy rounds, since we are essentially partially buying to be able to put up a fight enough to possibly win the round, but in case you lose, your team is still able to buy in full for the next round. Now that you understand the economy cycles in Valorant, it's time to get into the advanced concepts about the economy system in Valorant, and that is agent spending. Depending on your agent, the way you spend your credits will be completely different. For example, as a Jet, you want to prioritize your weapon over your utility, but as KJ, you want to prioritize your utility over your weapon. Let me explain. As a Sentinel, the entire purpose of your role is to use your utility to reinforce an area of the map. Whether you are on attack or defense, this still applies. So making sure that your team doesn't get flanked or that the enemies aren't able to freely take sight is your priority, not buy a Vandal and armor. Going full utility with full armor and a Spectre is perfectly fine if you need to do this. As a duelist, the entire purpose of your role is to take space and be the first person into danger. So for this reason, buying a Vandal with armor is acceptable over buying utility, since you need to put priority into fighting and your gun and armor will do that. As a controller, as long as you can smoke and eliminate sight lines from the enemy team, you can buy whatever you want, but your priority needs to be in the utility that blocks off sight lines. For the initiators, all you need to worry about is having your recon or flash utility, but then you do want to put major priority into your ability to fight, since you will be side to side with your duelists in the midst of the action. So buying one Prowler, Vandal, and armor as Fade is perfectly fine. Understand that there are 3 agent money types. You have your low spending agents like Omen, Sova, and Gecko, whose utility is the least expensive to buy, ranging from 400 to 550 credits. You have your medium spending agents like Killjoy, Cypher, Deadlock, Viper, Harbor, KO, Phoenix, Raze, and Neon, whose utility prices ranges from 600 to 700 credits. And then you have your high spending agents like Sage, Chamber, Astra, Brimstone, Sky, Fade, Breach, Reyna, and Yoru, whose utility is the most expensive to buy, ranging from 750 credits to 1400 credits. Make sure to add 1000 credits for full armor and 2900 credits for a Vandal or Phantom. Just remember guys, because Chamber has the most expensive kit in the game does not mean that you need to fully buy all of his utility. Remember what we said earlier in putting priority into certain things to buy depending on your agent and role. Now that you're a Valorant financial expert, you should no longer find yourself being broke in Valorant ever again. But if you want to rank up to the next level, you will need to know more than just Valorant finances. I would recommend watching our butterfly effect video next so you can understand the consequences of your buys and decisions you make in Valorant. I will see you there, millionaires.